I'm curious to see how, like, what that process was, letting go, knowing, okay, this is the thought I had, I'm watching it grow, but now it's time for me to pivot and transition on. Like, how was that, taking something, because that pretty much is your baby, because you're feeding it. It came from here, right? How was that thought process where you're like, you know what, I've created this, I feel comfortable with these people, taking over, now I'm gonna start something else?
I think that's one of those multi-layered things. I hear that a lot, that, it's your baby. And I'm making peace with that. I think a part of it that's weird for me is the fact that I actually have babies that I literally made, and that's what's different from when this thing began. Like in 2013, I was a newlywed. I'm wet behind the ears. I got enough nerve to try something, but not enough experience to know how it can go wrong. Like, it's just, trying it. I remember bringing it to my wife and I was like, hey, yo, I got this idea, right? You remember the thing that we were doing for a couple times? Yeah, I was thinking, like, what if I actually really went for it? And then she was like, I don't remember what she was doing, but it was like, yeah, like, go ahead, let's get it. And, that encouragement was great. And she was the first person that lent the strength of that encouragement, but she was not the only one. Because there's a whole village of supporters that also believed in that. And I think when it came time to transition, having that sense that, like, here's the time, here's the space that if you really believe in the mission, if you really believe that the performing arts can make, engage, change, and save lives, then it shouldn't matter who's in front of the room talking that talk. If you believe in it, you're going to make it happen, right? I can't really speak on Deion Sanders because that's a loaded situation.
Loaded question.
That's a loaded situation. That's a tough situation. So, Godspeed to him and the communities that he's been a part of and heading into. But I don't think it's just one thing. I think change is going to have tension. Yeah. Change is going to be a challenge.
Yep.
I shout out to the AK, the new executive directors of the listening. But I let them know some people are not going to like this transition, are not going to trust the transition. They're not going to know what to make of it. But the people who are still there, that's your foundation to make something dope with.
Yeah.
The people who see it for what it is, not who, but for what it is. Like you've experienced your life changed with dance. You've seen people's lives saved because of a word spoken from an MC. Those are the folks that you want with you still, right? All the other stuff is just flash and flare. All the other stuff is stuff we've learned over the years on how to make things, feel that much more polished or that much more shiny. But, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Yeah. And I'm good with however it turns out.
Got you. Yeah, that's it's amazing because I often think, when I look at like Steve Harvey, I look at Kevin Hart and these guys, and I'm pretty sure there are things they started that they transition on. Because to me, I think that's the ultimate goal. I don't think it's like your goal to keep, to stay with an idea from start to finish. When if it's an overall branding thing, right, that you're trying to make impact.
Well, it was.
That could branch off.
No, I'll be honest with you. I was prepared to do this thing to my grave. I was prepared for this to be like my lasting legacy. That was how, like, I was in it. I was in it. There was a point where that focus became unhealthy, though, where the work that I was doing to try to build this thing up became more self-focused, more about what I can do and how I'm going to make it happen, to the point where I started to witness my relationships suffer, my health, right? Like, I'm seeing all these things change. I remember one night I was, and what's wild about the nonprofit space, especially when you're a startup and you're not connected to like old money or anything like that, you're really just desperate for the chance.
Yeah.
So you'll go to 10 different functions, 10 different networking events, 10 different marketing, 10 different things for just one of them to really like be the thing that helps your organization make it to the next quarter, make it to the next year, make it to the next fundraising thing. And I was going to another one, and my daughter, she, at the time, I think she was maybe 3 or 4, and she was asking me, I'm getting my jacket on. And I'm getting ready to go. She's like, all right, I'm about to leave, saying bye, baby. And she was like, Daddy, where you going? And I'm like, I got a work thing. I got to get some work done. She stopped and looked. She, I don't like it when you have to go to work. And that was mad simple, but that joy caught me right here.
Yeah.
That caught me right here. In the multiverse of this experience, this is the beginning of like a whole different story arc. That would be the beginning of the end for me, because like feeling how so much of it was pulling me away and taking more of my resources away from my first focus, which is my family.